Hi, my name is Gage.
And my name is Kim, and this is the Helping Henderson podcast.
And our goal here is to reinstill the sanctity of marriage and family. So we hope that you enjoy this episode. And if you do, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, we help.
And he heals. Welcome to the Helping Hendersons. We are the Helping Hendersons. My name is Kim.
And my name is Gage.
And we're so glad you guys joined us today. Honestly, this is a really cool one just because we get the opportunity to interact with our viewers and people who actually do, watch the podcast. And one thing that I will say, when we're actually saying like, subscribe and comment, we're reading your comments, you're liking and subscribing when we're asking for feedback or when you're really submitting your forms, whatever it is that you're doing where we're asking for that interaction, we're actually reading them. And so today we get the opportunity to answer some of the questions that we've gotten in the past.
Yeah.
And so as well as I would say in the past and also in preparation for this new season.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to answer those questions, especially when it comes to just, where we lean as it relates to just relationships, marriage, family, therapist, perspective and all the things. So I'm excited.
No, I am excited for this episode because I think this is the fruition of what we wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Where it's like, as we're reinstilling sanctity of marriage and family from a national global perspective, it's like we also want to do it from a personal perspective. So if you're listening to this, we want to be able to give back to you directly in a very meaningful way by you being able to ask your questions and us giving you an answer to something that you're going through in real life, because that's the overall journey of what we're called to do in this faith walk as a Christian and being a follower of Jesus Christ. Is you're supposed to make disciples of all nation. And this is our ability. And we're actually honored that people would trust us to say, hey, will you help disciple me through this issue? And that's what we want to do, is just allow this to be an additional discipleship method, right? Yep. Which will, what we're doing right now is curating some things to help other people, help you guys, go and disciple on your own by, and soon we'll be having a Bible study, a free Bible study for you guys that you guys can have, and a free devotion. So that way you guys can start going on that journey in yourself and learning more about the word, more of what God has for you as it relates to marriage and family, being discipled and discipling others. So we're actually excited because you guys asked the questions and we are going to come up with some answers, and hopefully it's going to be most helpful. So are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Let's go.
Yeah, let me see. All right. So the first one we have, somebody asked, how do I navigate heartbreak / dating? And so what I'm seeing, or what I'm believing this question to be, is how do I navigate while I'm dating?
Yeah.
A breakup,
sure,
heartbreak. I was maybe really committed to this person.
Yeah.
Or maybe this person was really committed to me and they broke it off. I broke it off either, but there was a heartbreak in there. But also being mindful, this is just when we're in the dating phase. And so whether you're dating as a teenager, you're dating in young adulthood, maybe divorced, separated, and you're an older, 40s, 50s, 60s, and you're dating and you experience heartbreak then, because you can definitely experience heartbreak the older you get. And so how do you navigate that?
Well, I would just say, I hated at points. I remember at a time in my life that I hated being single, more so because of the fact that I just really didn't have contentment. But that wasn't, once I learned what it was to be content in that season. I think a lot of the times we see our singleness as something that is just so horrific, or it's lonely, or I'm a serial single person, or whatever the case may be. And when you've had the opportunity to go through a heartache and you see yourself on the other side of that heartache, you're actually, God, you were protecting me, and I probably dodged something that could have been very derailing to my life, my call, or whatever the case may be. But I would say that I think that what it was is that, number one, it's that contentment in a season that really, Paul describes so beautifully about how to
Yeah.
accept, because
Yeah.
it's like when you have the opportunity to be single, you have the opportunity to not have to ask permission to go do things. You don't have to, not that I don't love, what we've built as a family or anything like that, but, waking up with a kid not socking me in my face or something like
Oh, that'd
that.
be nice.
Or like,
I do miss that.
just having right, just having like a night to myself, or when I want to do something or
Like, if I just
whatever.
wanna go, I
If
can
I just want
go.
to go, I want to go. If I wanted to
Yeah.
travel, I can travel, all of those things. And I think, again, it's just finding that contentment in a season that really is a blessing. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, you know what I also find interesting as you said that? And give me a second while I just wanna make sure I say it accurately. Because I believe you're referring to Philippians, chapter 4, right? Um, where Paul mentions that he's learned how to be content in all seasons.
Mhm.
Um, and so within that though, Lord help me. This is your Bible, so
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
Well, this is my study Bible. That's what I got in front of me. The one that's like tattered up. That's like my speaking Bible.
okay, subtle Christian flex. Yeah, so this
That's
is
not what I meant. You're a hater. That's
yeah,
not what I meant.
that's my
That's not what
speaking
I
Bible.
meant.
This
That's
is
not what I meant. That's not what I meant. Not at all. I promise. I'm not like that.
Jeez, tell me you're Christian without telling me you're Christian. All right,
So, okay,
so
go ahead.
here we go. Philippians 4, I think verse 13. Well, that's the most famous verse that we all know. I
Yeah.
can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So if you're going through dating and heartbreak, you can do this because Christ will strengthen you. That's the Christianese
Yeah,
answer.
for
But like
sure.
realistically, starting in verse 10, it says, "I rejoiced in the Lord greatly now at length you have received your concern for me. You were indeed concerned for me, but you had no opportunity. Now that not that I am speaking of being in need, for I have learned in whatever situation I am to be content. I know how to be brought low, and I know how to abound. In any and every circumstance, I have learned the secret of facing plenty and hunger, abundance and need. I can do all things through him who strengthens me." Now, he is writing to the church in Philippi at this time. He's giving them an exhortation, and he's saying that Paul is writing that he's rejoiced in the Lord, that they have a concern for him. So
Mhm.
what he's showing in this moment, I think, you know there's two things that I'm finding very important if you're going in through any heartbreak, you're especially if you're in this dating, because Paul was single, right?
Yeah.
He mentioned his singleness,
Yeah.
and so if you're a single person, you can learn something from Paul in this.
Yeah.
Three things, right? Is a um he's rev- he's reviewed their concern for him.
Mhm.
He is in fellowship with people
Mhm.
who care about him.
Yeah.
So all
Mm.
of his care isn't wrapped up in one specific person.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we experience tremendous heartbreak is because we wrap ourselves up in a relationship
Yep.
and we make that relationship our identity. We make that a relationship the sole thing,
Well, we
and
make
or
it our
we
God
make it our God.
inadvertently.
Yeah, we get all of our care from this relationship
Yeah.
and none of our care comes from anywhere else.
Yeah. That's good.
So that when it's over, we are heartbroken
And we're like, "Who are we now?"
because we
Yeah.
have nothing else around us that has been caring for our heart.
Or we feel a sense of like rejection, like I've been rejected by this relationship, so I must not be good enough. I must not be this. I must not be that. Whatever it is, you start to feel bad for yourself as if you are not
Yeah.
worthy or worth less.
Mhm.
And I think that the thing is like really reclaiming a situation, or like truly reclaiming like your singleness for a time for the Lord to build you up. I mean, I know that that sounds like, very, I don't know. No, that's true. Let the
Yeah,
Lord build you up.
that's what it
Let
is.
him let him give you the confidence. Let him tell you who you are. Let him love on you so that way when you do come across the next person that you may come across, you know what to accept. Because if they're not giving you the love of the Father, and I'm not saying that they should like replace the love of God. That's not what I'm
Never,
saying. What
never.
I'm saying, but if they aren't looking after you in the sense of protecting and caring for the very being and the creation of who you are. They're not loving you right. They're treating you in a certain way. They're not, taking advantage of you or whatever the case may be. They're not bringing you blameless before the Lord. Maybe you're single and you're like, listen, I want to be celibate. But then the relationship that you get in tells you, I want you to, do this for me or do that for me and compromise yourself or whatever the case may be. Well, then you should know at that point, if you find your contentment in Christ, you don't compromise by trying to be in the next relationship that you're in, but you actually accept a relationship that God wants you to be in.
100%.
It's a relationship where the man is leading you, or the woman is actually protecting your own boundaries, or
Yeah.
protecting who you are as the person and man or woman that you're trying to become.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things that I think relationships should complement, but the getting through the heartache of it is really rediscovering yourself, reclaiming who you are in Christ, reclaiming who you want to be,
Yeah.
and not wrapping yourself in this situation based upon someone feeling like it was rejection. But really, as we know, I know that this is a Christianese statement, but for real, like sometimes that rejection is really God's protection of you, because you don't know what this person is really like. You don't know what that woman or that man really is like.
Yeah.
You thought you fell in love with this persona, but the reality is they would have never treated you the way that God intends for you to be treated.
So you perfectly stated the second point,
Mm-hmm.
which is you have to learn from this.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you said is a learning point from it, because that's what Paul does. He's around people that cares for him. He is choosing to learn from this.
Yeah.
He's not dismissing it. He's saying that there's something here that I can learn from. And I want to just touch on this. You said man's rejection is God's protection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I need people in my heart of hearts to receive that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
If there is a rejection that you have experienced, please be more excited than you could ever be.
Yeah.
Be so happy and grateful, because that rejection, if you are being authentically who you are, 100% of yourself, and you are going to full passion and full zeal, and then someone rejects that, perfect, because they're not rejecting you, right? They're rejecting what let me say this. It may feel like they are rejecting you. They're not rejecting you. What they are rejecting is within themselves an ability to be in that relationship, right?
Mm.
Because if God is sovereign, nothing does not go through God,
No.
by God, or from God that is not allowed. That means God is going to purpose that rejection. So it's really not a rejection of you, but it should be a greater fulfillment that, hey, I should be all the more who I am, because I'm being protected from someone who would not value me,
Yeah.
or who not appreciate me. The most manipulative, hurtful thing I've ever heard is that when you're rejected, that could be a sign for you to push in more.
Yeah, no.
No. Because what you are then doing is you are then trying to take matters and things into your own hands. You are trying to say, I will now play God. I will step in the way. And then here's what's going to happen. It may work. You may go forth and get it, but you will not have God's blessing on it.
Man.
Because God already said, no, this should not happen.
Yeah.
There was already a rejection. You didn't learn from the rejection. You continue to push forth. And because God is so loving, because he's so caring, he will step out of the way and say, go ahead.
Yeah.
If that's what you want, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
It happened to David and Bathsheba.
Yeah.
David was supposed to be at war.
Yeah.
He invited her, had a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and then now is like, oh, hold on, I gotta pay for this. So God's like, hey, you wanted this? Go ahead, David. But you are now going to have to experience the fruit of it.
Mm-hmm.
The rejection point was she's married, bro.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Right. For real.
She's married.
Yeah.
That's reject. Oh no, I think I should go. Okay. God says, okay, if that's what you want, okay. But look at how much death comes on the other side of that. Now, is God still merciful? 100%. David goes before the Father. He repents. He turns of his ways. He makes things right. There's still a blessing that comes from it, but there's still an ultimate payment, because in that moment, David kills Uriah,
Yep.
her husband, has to marry her because she's a widow now. Good job, David.
Yeah.
They lose their child from the infidelity that
Yeah.
happened. And on top of that, yes, Solomon will be born, but the kingdom will go into a wreck because of where Solomon ends his life.
Yeah.
And they go into what? And then not only, and then sorry, I do got
Hold
to add
on.
this.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Solomon then has his own battle with lust and temptation.
Yeah.
You do not need 700 wives and 300 concubines.
But he's
There
the
is
wisest
no
and the
need.
richest.
There is no need. But you're struggling through it because of what your father didn't handle the rejection. That's what I'm trying to say. There was a rejection point.
Yeah.
He still went. And so anyways, going back to your point, I'm getting off track. I'm just getting really passionate about something.
I see. I said, oh, he about to go there.
Man's rejection is God's protection. It is not your time to then push past and try to make something work that God did not design to work. So two things. A, be in fellows, be around people who are concerned for you. That's what Paul teaches us.
Yeah.
When you experience any hardship, any heartbreak or breakup, and not saying he's going through a breakup in this point, but he is going through hard times, right? He's around people who cares for him. He's learning from the hard times that he does, and he puts his faith back in Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Those are your 3 points, I would say, managing a breakup or a heartbreak at any point in time.
Yeah.
Sorry, I feel like you have something to say.
I was just gonna say how Jesus, I love the Lord and I love the Bible too, because the Bible be like bringing your pettiness back, and because every single time it talks about it in the New Testament, it says Uriah's wife, like it just
man,
Uriah's wife. That's actually
and so David with
right.
Uriah's wife.
Yeah,
it was Uriah first.
Like, oh, geez. Okay, but I mean, how I would say, just ending on that note, like honestly, it's just really just you don't lean to your own understanding, but in all of your ways acknowledge Christ,
and he will
he will direct your paths. And I think sometimes that we have the tendency to look at things from our understanding, but it's to now just elevate and put all of your weight, put all of your understanding, and let the Holy Spirit mend your heart. Let the Lord like just continuously build you up. Let him remake you over in this season. And it wasn't until I found contentment and true joy in a season of singleness is when I was introduced to you.
Yeah.
Like that was the greatest thing. I mean, I promise you, I was super content. I was like, oh yeah, no, a marriage, at that point complimented me, but it didn't make me. Where I was like, that's what you need to like focus on, So
can you run that back one more time?
I don't even know what I said.
You said a marriage does not make you, a marriage compliments you.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna keep it at that. Thank you.
Look, my God.
You a good listener.
My God. And that's we're looking for relationships to make us, to value us, to affirm us,
to validate us,
to validate.
Yeah.
And you don't realize, baby girl or young man, you're already validated.
Yeah, in God.
You're already affirmed.
Yeah.
You're already loved.
He loves me. Yeah.
So just walk in that. I would say if you're going through a breakup right now, be excited, be happy.
Yeah.
You're free.
Thank you.
You're free.
I know it might hurt. Cry now, but thank you.
No, don't cry. Don't cry.
No. Sometimes it be a little hurt. I lost some things because you know what I lost? I lost time. I wasted my time.
Learn?
I mean, that's a good thing you learn. I mean, I get it. I want you to learn, but I learned that I wasted my time. That can make you cry sometimes. But you never know. Honestly, the tears could be like, I wasted my time. The tears could be like, man, I gave of myself. Man, I compromised. Man, I did something that was contrary to what I even started out in wanting.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to heal from that. You get mad at yourself and forgive yourself.
You're grieving.
Yeah, forgive yourself because you put this hope and expectation in something that God never.
Back. You're right.
Yeah, God never wanted that for us. So,
yeah.
But be excited because
be excited.
Yeah, be excited because of the fact that honestly, God has something better. If I haven't learned anything else, I have learned that whenever God has removed a situation from my life, whatever it is, whether it be a job, whether it be a person, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a friendship, like you get comfortable with that removal because that removal was something that had nothing to do with me, but it had everything to do with God. And
Mhm.
I have to, that's like trusting in him completely that he removed it. So if he removed it, let me walk in that.
Yeah.
Cuz the Lord is in rooms that I'm not in. He knew what the thoughts were.
Yeah,
He
he knew
knew
what they were
he
saying.
knew
He knew
what's
what
going to
he
happen,
was knew their heart.
down the line. He knew all that.
Yeah.
So let me just be thankful for that. So, all
Yeah.
right, next question. I think that was
Okay.
yeah, we went there.
Yeah. All right.
You got all upset and everything.
I did. I did. I don't know. I shut up, Gage. Anyways. All right, next. Okay, I'm gonna blend these two.
Okay.
And so this question is how do you not lose yourself after having kids? And also how do you address the pressures? So it's twofold. It's one we'll be able to answer together, but also I'm going to combine them because it'll allow both of us to talk on how supporting the mom.
Okay.
So how do you not lose yourself after having kids, and how do you manage the pressures and expectations of being a wife and mom duties that include cooking, cleaning, and having sex?
Mm. Whew. Okay. So the first thing is, I think we have to start off by being honest about childbirth. Like, you are different. Like, you are different. Your body's different. Your hormones are different.
Yeah,
You
but
are
that's E's
different.
fault.
And, huh?
Nothing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Said that's E's fault though.
Oh
Ain't
goodness,
got
yes,
nothing to do with
Eve.
me.
Listen, you know how many people I've always said that they gonna line up and talk to Eve. I'm actually gonna line up and talk to Adam because I'm gonna be like, why you didn't reel her? Like, what happened? You didn't
He
protect
probably
her.
did.
No, you didn't protect her.
Nah,
Anyway,
bro is probably like,
no,
listen,
I'm
don't
just
touch that one.
nah. He
It was you gave her to me,
nah.
Jesus.
Exactly. That's why I'm gonna talk to him. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, I think you have to give yourself grace because honestly, after you have a child, it truly is different. You are different. You're not the same person.
Yeah.
And I do think that you have to accept that change. If you get to a place of where you're, like, okay, there is at least for the first year of your life, your entire life is wrapped to this child. And what I mean by that, if you're nursing, if like when it comes down to a lot of different aspects of that child is, I nursed both my two girls for 18 months for one and a year for the other. And I remember I just got to a place where I just said, I want my body back and I'm tired of
Yeah,
this,
I remember that.
And so it's like you have to be honest about there is a change. Now, when I also kind of woke up, I remember the reason why I went 18 months for one and then 12 months because I just got tired of like
Yeah,
nursing.
you
And I was like,
cold-blooded cut her
yeah, I
off.
cut my baby off. Like, look, 12 months, we done. But it was one of those things where it's like, I have to rediscover who I am as a parent because now I'm now a person, I'm a mom, I'm a wife. Not only am I a mom, I'm a mom with two like toddlers, I'm a mom with a young adult. I'm different. And so I have to learn that beautiful balance of not wrapping myself up all in my kids because you can naturally get lost in the children, get naturally lost in being a parent, get naturally lost in being a wife, get naturally lost in all of those things. And I'll remember because for me, I was going back to a little bit of my story, keeping it quick. I was 22 as a single mom. I got married at 30. I was divorced by 33. And so I was single for 2 years and then I was married, right? And I'm saying all of that to say is that there were periods of time in my life where I felt like I got wrapped up in all of these things. And when everything kind of got stripped from me, I didn't know what my identity was. And I think that the biggest thing that I can say is, not losing yourself is remembering that I am a daughter of the Most High King first. Like, before I'm a mom, before I'm a wife, before I'm this, before I'm that, before whatever, I am a child of God.
Yeah.
And being that child of God comes with I have an identity in Him, I have a purpose in Him, and there is things that He wants me to fulfill in this earth through what He's given me as visions and goals and desires and things like that. And I am able to accomplish all of those things. But again, having to start with being first, I am different, and that's okay. But now who do I rediscover myself as just being just the child of God?
Yeah. Yeah. I would also say, for those married or doing it with their partner, is I personally don't think all of the like wife mom duties are you cooking and cleaning and having sex. Like
I agree with that.
I
I approve this message.
yeah, it's our house,
Yeah.
right? I believe we have to take care of our house.
Yeah.
And I also believe that we have a ability to do this exchange if it's a partnership.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say though is that everyone's situation is different. So for me and you, like we both work and we're entrepreneurs. So we're go, 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 busy, busy, busy. Um, and but that's the way we want it. Like
Yeah.
you enjoy working, you enjoy your career,
I do.
right? And so, but you also enjoy
I enjoy being a mom too.
exactly.
Yeah, and I
Now,
enjoy being a wife.
but there's a reality to us in our situation is we have to accept that because we are both career people and entrepreneurs and very active in our kids' life, our home is going to be lived in.
Yeah, so sometimes our home just looks a little wild.
And we're okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have toddlers running and I think it's finding a healthy piece of it. Now it's not messy and dirty,
Right.
like we're not having stains all over the place,
No.
but if our kids are playing, I'm not going to yell and scream at them for them playing around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's our dynamic.
But I
Now,
also Oh, go ahead.
other people other people's dynamics are going to be the husband is the breadwinner
Mhm.
and the wife is at home and she does all that.
Mhm.
Or the wife is the breadwinner and the husband stays at home and he does all that. However you guys manage your dynamic is however you manage your dynamic. What I will have to say though, for those dynamics is you do have to count the cost of the sacrifice.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people say yes to these sacrifices and they may not have fully count the costs first
That's so good.
because a stay at home wife or husband, that is a full-time job.
Yes. That part.
That is like you have to give respect to that. The only reason why the other partner or spouse can go work and do the job that they do and make as much money as they can make on their own is because all this support is being taken care of over here.
That's
If
good.
you didn't have that same support, you wouldn't have that same luxury or leeway. So you do have to understand that you're able to have this luxury and leeway, make as much because of this support. So essentially, you guys are making that together because otherwise you wouldn't have that ability.
Yeah. And I would just like to say for anybody who is like a stay-at-home mom, real talk, a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home father, husband is just as, if not more important than the one who's winning the bread at home.
Oh,
And, like,
100%.
I will say that
You're
it is
stewarding over the next
you
generation.
are stewarding over the next generation. You are working extremely hard. Your day is nonstop. You don't have the ability to turn it off because you're from sunup to sundown, you are caring for every single person in that home. Then, because the question asked about sex, then I've been doing all of these things all throughout the day, cooking, cleaning, rearing the children. I've been everything. Then I have to look somewhat presentable and now go ahead and have sex with my husband too. I'm not saying that that's like a bad thing. Sex is great. Sometimes I'm tired though, you know? And so it's one of those things where I think it's like just
Well,
a
yeah, and
matter
it's
of
not fair because you just become his stress relief.
right. But I think what you just stated, what was so good, is what are you two in agreement with?
Yeah.
Because I think that whatever we're in agreement with is what has to be established first. Like, are we okay with the dynamic that we set forth? Because these are the goals, these are the aspirations, these are what our family is going to accomplish, right?
If I may,
Mhm.
I do want to change that word agreement.
Okay.
And the only reason why is because I've kind of had a revelation for myself. I don't like agreement anymore.
Sure. Okay. Well,
Um,
there we
and
go.
yeah, and no, that's my fault. That was my language.
Okay.
I'm starting to see I don't really care about agreement anymore.
Mhm.
What I care about is alignment.
Okay. That's beautiful.
I care about alignment. And here's and I was Genesis chapter 3. Um, Adam and Eve were in agreement
Oh.
to eat the fruit. They weren't in alignment with God.
Oh. Okay.
So from here, I'm trying to this is a new revelation, active change I've been doing the last couple weeks. But like, no, like Lord, what did you command this marriage to do?
Yes.
What do you have set for us to do in our different roles? Now let us be in alignment to that. So
Yeah.
now I don't have to agree. I just have to be aligned
That's good.
because I'm not going to agree in every season. I'm not going to agree in every year,
Yeah.
but I'm aligned as a
Because I'm
wife.
aligned to the bigger vision.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as a wife, I'm trusting that my husband is aligned to the Father
Come
so
on.
that everything flows down. Now, as long as we have that perfectly alignment, now I got to work on my heart posture, my agreement. Because there are some people, hey, we're not in agreement, but we're in alignment. Well, now you got to do your internal work
So good.
because
Because
you're
there are some things that at the end of the day, I will always do sacrifice and give that 100% because it's in alignment to the vision of this house.
it,
So I hear what you're saying.
yeah.
That makes sense.
And that's where I think and believe we get off course is because we're expecting to be in agreement. We're expecting it to feel good. We're expecting to no. There was agreement in Genesis chapter 3.
Mm,
That did not end well.
no, it did not.
So what we're looking for is let's make sure that we're aligned to the Father and we're doing that appropriately. But I'd also say I think husbands need to do a good job of being very attentive to their wife and their wife's needs. I cannot expect you like let's be honest, or the stay at home, the spouse that's working needs to be attentive to the one that's staying at home. Here's why. You're a chef,
Yeah.
you are a maid,
Yep.
you are a cleaner,
Yep.
you are a school teacher
Yep.
and a nanny.
Yep.
You're working 5 jobs
Yeah.
at minimum would pay maybe $30,000 to $40,000 a year.
Actually, no, let's make sure that's a little bit higher, but yes.
I'm saying at minimum
Yes.
because if you're working 5 jobs that at minimum each would pay $30,000 to $40,000 a year,
Yeah.
that's $150,000 to $200,000 a year in service that you're providing
Come on.
every day
Come
that's
on.
not being appreciated or valued.
Oh. And that's what I think it ends in making sure that you, regardless of who is doing who, the value doesn't change, the appreciation doesn't change because our roles are different, because you're going out and making the money versus me staying at home. The value should still be there because you have the safety of knowing that your spouse is at home with your children and your children are safe. You have the I would say the peace of mind of knowing that when you come home that you are able to have a peaceful environment, a clean environment, an environment that is full of love and full of joy and full of just again that family, that home environment that you're looking for. So I
Yeah.
just think it's one of those things that what you just said to me is very more critical than it is on who's going to stay home and who's going to go make the money. Who makes more money, who makes less money. But do you value and appreciate what we both bring to the table because we're both involved in the success of this family. We're both in alignment to what God has called us to do.
100%.
And I think that should be the anchor to everything
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, regardless of whether I'm like, man, I don't want to do this today. My agreement of wanting to do this today
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. What supersedes that is my alignment to this family and what God has for us.
And so
Very good.
and something else that I'm thinking through is that when the person who's working comes home, they don't they clock in at work, they don't clock in at home.
Yeah.
And I remember, there's this, old coworker of mine, we would always have conversations about our families and about what it's like, and our like, the way whenever we left shift, it would always be like, "Alright, time to go clock in." And it was just a
Mm,
subtle reminder of, like, as you're driving home, get ready to clock in there as well.
so good.
'Cause you cannot be clocked in at your office, you cannot be clocked in while you're on duty, whatever your business is, but refuse to clock in at work or at home,
Yeah.
and not give it the same energy, the
Yeah.
same passion, the same
Yeah.
care, because now what you're showing is that, "No, this is more important than this over here."
Yeah.
And it's not fair, and then so now your spouse, the one who stays at home, feels it
Yeah.
because they know you can be successful.
Yeah.
They know you have energy, passion, and care,
Yeah.
but you just don't have it over here. So now you have someone who's resentful. You
Yeah.
have someone who doesn't want. Why would they want to have sex with you?
Ooh, that part.
What?
That's
Hold
a
on,
fact.
hold on, hold on. So you mean to tell me you get to leave this house, you get to go be around other people, you get to go be affirmed by all these other people, and I am staying at home, I'm washing your drawers, cleaning your dishes, taking care of your kids, making sure your house is clean, and then when you get home, I gotta come over, give you the fellatio, I gotta bend over for you,
Oh,
and I done all that for you, and you ain't done not net for me.
right. Well, you
And
act like you have
now you get to get an attitude
right. You
because
act
you
like you halfway wanna be here when you here. I get
yeah,
that.
now you halfway want to be here when you here, but I got to do all this for you. Who you ain't keep no. No.
I think what it comes down to is giving the
The
best.
audacity.
Oh, you mad. It's about giving the best of yourself for your spouse. I hate that phrase that marriage is 50-50. And it's not, because it's really about 100-100. It's like I have to come in and show up 100% of the time and fight past those urges of when I wanna be tired. My kids aren't gonna understand that when I walk in, I'm just like, "Okay, whatever," but the joy that we see on their faces when we've done this great, excellent, thing at our job, but then we come home and we give them just as much. Yeah, am I tired? Yeah, but there's something that happens when I see them fulfilled. There's something that happens when I see you fulfilled. There's something that happens when I walk in the door and you're smiling actually to see me, and I'm actually smiling to see you, or that come up and rub and, want to I hate to say it, but you'd be like, touch a titty or something like that. Or you'd be like, you'd be like,
Every now
grab
and
my
then I
butt
like to
or
touch
something,
titty. The only
but
titties I can touch.
yeah, but that's, but that's a thing that you should really be walking into with that joy and that excitement. And it doesn't feel like a drudgery, because if somebody walks in and feels like it's a drudgery, then I will start feeling like it's a drudgery to get back
Yeah.
to that.
And you know what? There's the first part was like losing yourself after having kids. Um and I would say that's probably because it goes back to you didn't count the cost.
Mm.
You didn't count the cost of what this would be like, and you had 9 months to prepare.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that it's to count the cost. I think it's like you genuinely you're different, and it's okay. And I think that you have to kind of grieve and mourn the this
Yeah,
is I'm not that person
my life
anymore.
is gone.
Not my life is gone.
No, it that old life,
Yeah, yeah.
that old
That
life
old
is
life is
gone.
gone.
This is
That's
your
true.
new life. You have to grieve that old life,
Yeah.
and you have to accept and embody and embrace this new life of
Yeah.
being mother, of being father,
Yeah.
of being husband, of
Yeah.
being wife, of being co-parent. Like,
Yeah.
this is your life now.
Yeah. And finding joy in it.
Yeah.
And because there's a lot of
Tons
joy
of
in it.
joy
I think that's
when you're selfless,
yeah, that part.
when you're humble,
Yeah,
but if you're pridefully selfish,
yeah, yeah. But that may not be it. We don't know.
okay.
We don't.
But I don't understand, I guess for me. Now, losing yourself and having kids, I think that's different. Again, I'm conflating two. I'm bringing two together. Two. So when you feel like you're losing yourself after having kids, I think it could be one of two things. Is that you feel like you lost yourself because you're still adjusting. So give yourself space and time to adjust.
Right.
Um, you're having to fall in love with your body again for
Yeah.
women, right? Because I will not wish the third trimester on my worst enemy.
Yeah.
That just looked like it sucks.
Yeah.
But a lot has changed,
Yeah.
right? And so appreciating that again, while at the same time, like I think it's just learning. So we all kind of lose ourselves because you're right, you did lose yourself.
Yeah.
Now you're just, having
You're just learning yourself of who you are today.
and it's a rebirth. So
Yeah.
becoming new. So I think embracing the loss of yourself,
Yeah.
grieving your old self,
Yeah.
embracing, embodying who you want to be today. But that also comes by, and it's something that I've told you and I do for myself, is like, how are we prioritizing ourselves?
Yeah. And I want to be sensitive to the fact that there really are some people who really do struggle with the grieving of their former self. And
Yeah.
that's okay too. And that's fair. That's true. That's honest. But I think it's just being honest with yourself
Yeah.
about what that life was, and finding yourself in your quiet time where if you are like, man, like this is a lot and maybe I didn't count the cost, but whatever it is, can I humble myself to go to the Lord and let him work that through me?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's real. I think there's some people who are like, I was born to be a mom. And then there's some people who are like, I'm a
Ayesha Curry.
mom. Oh, goodness. I know. Like, she don't want to, Aisha Curry doesn't want to be, that's what she said. That's what
Listen.
she said, though.
Listen.
She said she hates being a mom and she had to get through it and she's still working through it. But look, she's in counseling.
We're gonna pray for our
We are
sister.
going to pray for her.
We're gonna pray for her. But no, but then, so like losing yourself, I think that's very normal. It's very valid. You are going to lose yourself. So grieve. As far as managing, I just don't believe, like, I believe we both have a bit like,
You know what? Hold on. This just came to me, though.
yeah,
There's a grieving, but then there has to shift to an acceptance. This is your new life. And you can't continue to grieve, because what will happen is you're going to take that out on the people who do need you. Your kids, whomever
the
that do
very
need
thing that
you.
made you lose your
Right,
life.
right. So the thing is, there has to be that grieve, but now move on in acceptance that this is your life and find the joy in that.
No, remember, those who lose their life will find it.
Yeah. That's in Jesus, though.
But yeah, no, I think you're 100% right. Is that like there comes a point in time when it's like forward motion.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't
yes,
stay here.
you can't stay there, and you just get resentful. But then I also think for, the other people who are having difficulty adjusting, especially when you're married in a partnership, it's like, okay, like if two have become one now, we both have a responsibility. And so I think, because if it's mom wife's duties, then I would say the mom or the wife you need to have courage
Yeah.
to address your partner and address your needs.
Yeah.
You need to
And
tell them,
that's what it sounds like.
right? And have the courage to say, these are my needs.
Yeah.
This is the support, hey, can you cook on these days?
Yeah. These are
Or
my needs, and then what does that look like? And then actually explaining this is what I'm actually in need of you.
yeah.
I need rest just as much as you do. I need to leave the home just like how you are able to leave the home. If you can help
if
cook.
it's just a spin cycle class,
Yeah.
like something.
And I think that even just what you said, though, it really comes down to a partnership.
Yes.
And me and you have set an agreement. I know, not agreement. I ain't gonna say agreement.
We are aligned.
But we are aligned in, like, we take on the responsibilities as a family. This is our home, so we both clean. This is, we both do the dishes and we both do the laundry, and whatever we contribute to that, it's how do we contribute in the way that we do. But you don't leave it all to the responsibility of me, but it's an our thing and us and a we. So
yeah.
Well, on that note, go ahead and close us out, sir.
Oh, I'm closing today. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Well, I really hope this was a beneficial listen for you guys. Again, we really want to interact with you all. So in any of our show notes, you'll be able to go down there. There'll be like a Google form. You could type into it at any point in time, submit whatever questions you have, whatever feedback that you may have, because we want to hear from you. And we want to be able to do more of
Yeah.
these episodes where we are just having a question and answer, that we are in real time able to provide some sort of discipleship support. And so, the more that we get, in off season, we might just say, hey, you know what? Let's let's just sit down and just answer these questions out, and then we'll divvy them out whenever we can. So feel free to do that. But if you love this episode, please like, share, subscribe. It helps. Click the likes and however you're listening to it. Leave a review. It just
Yeah.
helps us, allows us to get this message out to more people, because if it's a blessing for you, we want to make sure that this is a blessing for others. So we thank you. We love you guys. We're praying for you.
Yep.
May God bless you. May He keep you.